a lot of times when we're in these things, right? But it's also like, okay, but my staff needs me or my kid needs me but like the fires, right? What about like for us? Like, do any of you have any very specific, like, I'm like, I got my 3 to 5 is for my child. You're like, I've got karate, right? Is anyone blocking time where they are saying, don't bother me for no reason?
I wouldn't say that I necessarily like block it where I say like I'm not available. But like I try like one day a week just because I need like a recharge day.
Yes.
Where I don't talk to people. I don't want to see anybody. I mean, like my family, of course, like my husband, my child, my dog, whatever, right? Like I can't avoid them. But there are some days my husband's like, do you just want to go to like a hotel and like just not look at anybody or clean anything?
Yes.
Okay, it's yet to happen, but it's a nice idea. I don't know. I just take like a day. Usually those are Saturdays, and it works out great because my kid also needs a recharge day. And so we'll both say like, we need a day where we don't have to, it doesn't matter what time we get up. It doesn't matter if we brush our hair. It doesn't matter if we change out of our sweats. Like we can just do whatever we want, whether that's watching TV or playing video games or doing crafts, whatever, but not feeling that like urge to have to check my email or have to answer a phone call. I mean, there will be days where my sister texts me and I'm like, I'll get to him when I get to him. It doesn't feel like that pressure. So not necessarily like intentionally like blocking it out and really, I don't communicate that the best. Maybe that would probably be better too. But I think just having some time to like tell yourself, I'm not feeling the rush to get back to everything. So I've gotten there. It doesn't always happen. I mean, but trying as much as I can because I know I can't keep my own head above water if I don't take some time to recharge. So
mine is a combined answer. I'm going to go a little bit back to what you were mentioning about your like weekly and daily task. Whereas for me, when I was trying to create a schedule while being at home with my daughter, it became the tug of being a present mom and being a present CEO. And those two, you could try to make it work, but it is extremely, extremely difficult. So as a family, we made the decision to enroll her in daycare, which comes with its own set of mom guilt and all of the emotions that come with that. But what I had to tell myself was I'm a better mom because she is currently at a place where she's being cared for and all of the attention, and she's getting those experiences, and I'm able to focus on the things that I need to focus on. So something that, and I've shared this in the group, and it's been really, really exciting, is that I kind of have a work block where it's, let's say 9 to 3, 9 to 4:30. I kind of try to schedule it that way. But Fridays are my protected days where I work a half day, and everyone on my team knows I am not available. And I go and spend the rest of the day with my girl and we go on adventures. And that's something that I kind of look forward to every week. And it's been, it's really hard to set up those types of schedules because something is always happening. But I really do try my best to protect that time together so that I know that I'm doing everything to make that happen and we can create some really awesome memories instead of me trying to divide myself into 500 different roles all at the same time. I haven't gotten to the place where I have like that uninterrupted me time. I do try to schedule a weekly aerial yoga, which is really fun. I did work with a ACT therapist, who told me one time, she's like, you don't have to just completely sit still and meditate, for this to be effective. And I was like, what? You don't have to stay still. I didn't know that. So aerial yoga has been really, really great for me as the adrenaline junkie that I am. So that's been really fun. So I do try to schedule that in, at least on a bi-weekly basis is my goal. But that's as close to a schedule for myself for like that recharge that I've kind of found that works, or that's a work in progress because it's not consistent, but that's as close as I get to that.
For me, it's been a journey because my husband's schedule rotates, right? So it's a 3-week rotation, and it's set in stone. So I could go 3 years out and know when he's working, right? Like, so it's predictable, but it rotates, and so I can't say, oh, it's Tuesdays or oh, it's whatever day, because 1 out of every 3 weeks, he's going to be working that day, right? So what we settled in on was the day before. So the day he comes off shift, we do what my daughter affectionately calls big bedtime, which is bedtime with mom and dad. And so she gets mom and dad at bedtime on those days. And then obviously when he's on shift, bedtime is just me. And then the day before he goes back to work, daddy does bedtime and mom has free time. What I'm trying to do is go into our home gym and work out because that's literally the only time I can find to do it right now. But sometimes I just literally sit in the garage and just sit. No phone, no TV. I'm just like, peace and quiet. But that's what we've settled on. And, you know, as the business is growing, sometimes it's just not possible because like today would be my time, but I'm making a day trip up to Oklahoma to do a parent training intensive and then coming back home. And so I'll get home at like 9 o'clock tonight. So it's just not going to happen. But there's that flexibility, right? But that's the goal, is that, you know, every 3 days or so, I have a half an hour to 45 minutes where there's nobody bothering me. The kids are either in bed or being put to bed by my husband. I don't even take the dog in the garage with me. Like literally it's just me in the garage. I can work out. I can just sit and be. You know, we have a TV in the garage. I could technically just turn the TV on and watch, but a lot of times I'm just either listening to music and sitting or listening to music and trying to do some kind of movement, whether it's lifting weights or stretching or, you know, just something. And that's what we've settled on. And that's like the 5th iteration, guys. So if you come up with a plan, right, and you're like, okay, we're going to do this, and then you find it's just really not working, like it's okay to abandon the plan and try something different. And then abandon the plan and try something different until you find what is actually truly going to work. Because we tried mornings, we've tried it all. So this is what's working for us and our family right now. And I really appreciate having even just that like 30 minutes of peace and quiet where sometimes I don't even bring my phone in the garage. I take my watch off. Like it's literally like just me.
I think, you know, I am so lucky to have my mom nearby. She has been part of my son's life since he was born. They have such a wonderful relationship. And so she's also the person that knows like when I need a break, you know, or when I need some space or, so, you know, again, I'm just so lucky to have her to have that extra bit of time. But I think I have a little bit of a unique perspective because my son travels between homes. So, you know, I'm getting him to his dad's, I'm getting him to my place. So those little blocks of free time have shifted as the season of our lives have changed. And where I used to have somebody in the house with me to be like, oh, I'll take care of that so you can go meditate or so you can do this. There's no longer anyone else in the house physically. So when I wake up in the morning, you know, it's like, okay, what's this time? What's this got to do? What are we doing there? You know, how are we getting here? So I think that I did this just this past year in the fall. I was like, I need to schedule these blocks of time where I am going to a physical gym where someone can't engage with me. So I have had that in my schedule since September, you know, and it's at these weird blocks of the morning, right? It's like the trainer's like, oh, I can only be available, you know, like 8:05. And I'm like, that's like prime start of the daytime. Like I want to be at work at 8, you know, so that I can get out at 2 to get my kid in the pickup line because I have to sit in the pickup line for 45 minutes if I want to get him. But I haven't budged on that. You know, occasionally I'll have to cancel due to some actual meeting that needs to be held, but having that space where I know that I'm like, I have to be there. It's not, I tried working out at home. That didn't work. I'd be like, oh, my phone rang in the middle of yoga. Okay, let me go take care of that. So I really do think it's about figuring out those supports that you need in place to get you into a consistent routine or a consistent pattern and accessing that downtime. You know, I think you mentioned sitting in your garage, Corinne. That's like, sometimes I literally just go into a space where it's dark and it's quiet and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm re-regulated. Like I can breathe, like there's no noise. And those protected blocks, though, I think, like you said, April, like having them, my tendency is to want to fill them with something. Like you said, does anybody have any time where they just do nothing? That's the hard piece for me, is the doing nothing part.
My husband will often come into his voiceover booth, which is where I'm at right now, and just sit. He might scroll on the computer, but sometimes he just sits because it's soundproofed. So he can't hear anything that's going on in the house, right? Like, and so sometimes that's where he'll come and just do his own deep de-stress, silent time. So yeah, just you got to find wherever your space is, whether it's in the house or out of the house kind of thing.
Yeah, our old house had a walk-in closet in our primary bedroom with a door, and it was dark. And there were many times where I just found myself in the closet. I actually put a pillow and a cozy blanket and a stuffed animal for myself back in the corner of that closet. I was like, you know what? I was working with a life coach at the time, and I felt so much shame for that. And she was like, girl, go buy a new blanket. Go buy like a stuffed animal, get a weighted blanket, get like a cool water cup or whatever. Like make that, like blank it out, make that your place, right? And so I did. And so we moved to our current house. I didn't have that and I missed it. But now I have my office. However, so I have a cozy chair in the corner of my office. So I've now like, that's the space. It's not dark, but it's still, the good news is I've pretty much trained my family that if the door's closed in my office, like pretend I'm not home unless the house is burning down. But then I was going to my office and like, that's my place for work. So then I wasn't really like checking out. I wasn't getting the time. So now I've like kind of conditioned myself to like my cozy chair. That's my place when I'm sitting in that chair, like that's where I can like relax and I don't have to check email and, all of the things. So yeah. So if there's one thing that I would suggest the listeners do this week, just maybe explore where a quiet spot might be for you. If that's how you recharge. Not everyone recharges with a quiet spot. But yeah, find a little, make a little cozy corner for yourself. We do that stuff for our kids and our clients, and we help our families find that for their learners that we're working with. Do it for yourself. Find yourself a little cozy corner. That might be kind of fun to try out.
Or aerial yoga.
Or aerial yoga, 100%. And that's it. It can look whatever. Like there's no wrong answer. And like Corinne said, try again until you find. Because those of you who are listening to the podcast and not watching, like we were all like aggressively shaking our heads. Yes. It's not like, if I don't want anyone to listen to this and think that we all have it figured out and it's easy, because it's not, and we don't. And what's working for us right now might not work for us tomorrow, and that's okay too. It always amazes me when I take some time for myself, whatever that looks like for that season. And then I come back, re-enter life and think, wow, I feel like a new woman. I wonder why, or I'm surprised every time, right? And this week I'm like, I feel so depleted. I'm so tired. And I'm like, oh, I've been going probably almost 3 weeks straight without taking even a day, like complete, because we've just had life happens, right? So I'm like, okay, Sunday afternoon, let's see what I can do to make Sunday afternoon a couple of hours be what I need so that I can go into next week and not feel as depleted. But yeah, so none of us have it together. None of us have a secret magic button. I wish we did. If any one of you listening does have some kind of magic button or secret that works like 90% of the time, gosh, 50% of the time, I'd take that. Let us know. Call into the podcast hotline, leave us your story, leave us all your tricks and your magic spells, and we will definitely use those and share those. But guys, thank you all so much for your time and for showing up and for being vulnerable and sharing your stories today. I want to give you each a chance, if you have like a takeaway that you want to share with the listeners. I want to give you a chance. I say takeaway. It doesn't have to be some big, bold, broad, it doesn't have to be fancy. It can be any little thing that you would share with a friend that you just might want to leave the listeners with a little advice or encouragement as we end today.
I think just like what you said about, we don't all have it together. Like you might look at us and think that, but we don't. And just giving yourself, like I said earlier, like giving yourself that permission to take the time to not have it all together, to make the mistake. What's the worst that's going to happen? Right. Like, and being okay with that, something, there might be a hiccup here and there, but it's all right. The ball keeps rolling and you've got another chance to try. So just keep at it.
I would say, especially if you are in a leadership role or you are a CEO of an organization, you're modeling for the staff around you, right? You're modeling for your employees how they approach being a mom and navigating work at the same time. And if they see you, you know, come in every day and being there for, 50, 60 hours a week and, canceling kids' appointments and not taking yourself to the doctors, they're going to feel like that's the expectation for them. Right. So I think it's our role to model how we want, to be for them and how we want them to feel when they're employed by us as well. But I think bottom line is be kind to yourself. As everyone else is saying, like, it is okay. You're gonna kill it for 3 weeks. You're going to be amazing. You're going to go to the gym. You're going to have lunches packed and write, little love notes in the lunchbox. And then you're not. And that's okay. And then 4 weeks later, you might have a really good week and then not a good week. But that is how we're all living. Find those support groups, join April and Steve on Discord. Cause it is really, really nice to be able to get together with a group of other moms who are experiencing the same thing that we're all experiencing. And sometimes even just to say like, I did no laundry this week, and everyone to be like, totally cool. That's really great.
I think my little tidbit is just kind of in line with the other ladies here, is to give yourself grace, right? We're not perfect moms. We're not going to be perfect CEOs. There's going to be mistakes that happen in both mom life and in CEO life. There's going to be days where you just are like, why, right? Have your moment, and then, take your me time, and then get back on the horse and keep going. It's gonna just one foot in front of the other kind of thing some days, but you're still moving forward.
I want to end with what I've continued to learn the hard way, and that is asking for help when you need it, trusting that who you're asking for help is going to give it their all, sometimes even better than you originally planned. So I'm really trusting those support systems, trusting those family members, those friends. I'm so, so grateful for my village that has backed me up into these past couple of years, and my incredible team that has also backed me up and helped support this new journey that I'm on as a mom. So trust those who are willing to help and accept the help. That's okay. You don't have to do it all yourself. I'm talking to myself always as well. It's okay to not do it all yourself and ask for help.